Programmer Su Hao mistakenly sent his confession of love to the female president of the company. The female president called him to the office. Unexpectedly, she agreed to be his girlfriend on the spot and had to get a certificate from him. Chapter 1 The most beautiful woman in the business world. Parallel world, Hongsheng Group Building, Yanbei City, Huiguo. Su Hao stood in front of the door and checked his phone. Fortunately, he was not late. The subway was a few minutes late today. This is where he works. He is a programmer by profession. Hongsheng Group is an internet company. He can have this job with a monthly salary of over 10,000 yuan, which is better than many people, but in Yanbei, he still has nothing. Hey, isn't this Su Hao? Suddenly an arrogant voice came. Jai Kai. Su Hao looked up and saw that it was his college classmate Jai Kai. This guy is a rich second generation, wearing a suit and leather shoes, he looks like a dog, and there is an Audi A6 parked behind him. Hey, you said we met here by chance. Look at my new car. Isn't it beautiful? I'm here to pick up my girlfriend. You already have a girlfriend. Are you a poor boy still single? By the way, have you bought a house? You don't want to rent a house, right? Jai Kai was like a scumbird in heat, chirping. Su Hao frowned. When old classmates meet, they either compare themselves with each other or show off. He is right. I'm going to be late for work, bye. Su Hao said coldly. Don't leave, old classmate. If you work in this company step by step, you will never be able to afford a house in your life. Why don't you come to work in my company? I'm in need of someone to serve tea. Jai Kai looked generous. Su Hao was too lazy to pay attention to this guy. When he was about to leave, suddenly a handsome figure came over from a distance. Husband, you've been waiting for a long time. This woman has a tall figure, convex front and back, and a charming face. She is of high-class beauty. Baby, I just arrived too. Jai Kai stepped forward and hugged the woman's slender waist. Husband, who is this? The woman looked Su Hao up and down. Just a poor classmate. Jai Kai had a look of contempt on his face, and his girlfriend's eyes immediately turned into contempt. Hearing the word poor, Su Hao felt a twinge in his heart and walked away. Hey, old classmate, please consider my proposal. I really do it for your own good. Jai Kai continued to speak sarcastically. Su Hao walked into the company with a dark face and came to the elevator. Show off your sister, MMP, I will fall in love with you sooner or later. He cursed angrily. Bing, congratulations. The royal sister's voice rang in her ears. Who is this? Who is talking to me? The password of MMP, I will fall in love with you sooner or later is correct. You have successfully unlocked the super evolution system. Do you want to bind it immediately? This time it was a lowly voice. Su Hao was confused. Super evolution system? What the hell is this? I just couldn't help but curse and unlock the system. MMP, sooner or later I fell in love with you. I cut the grass, this unlocking code is a bit cool. Host, do you want to bind the system immediately? This time it was a soft girl voice. Su Hao was still thinking, is there any benefit to this super evolution system? Host, ask again if you want to bind the system immediately. Su Hao said. Tongzi, can I think about it? What the hell are you thinking? You can't. This time the system turned into a violent tomboy. Bind. Su Hao spoke immediately. Congratulations to the host, you have successfully bound the super evolution system. Your system has been evaluated. Starting super evolution. Su Hao didn't know why, but suddenly thought of the game Plants vs Zombies or the CF biochemical mode. He looked down at his arms. There were no hairs on them. Well, nothing has changed, it's still the same, everyone has hair on their body. Bing, congratulations to the host, your brain has successfully evolved to LV1. Along with the sound, a system screen that only he could see appeared in front of Su Hao. Host. Su Hao. Brain LV1. Primary intelligence. The next part of evolution. The eyes. Su Hao's eyes lit up, it seemed that this system was quite serious. System, has my brain evolved? Has my intelligence improved? Yes host, your learning, memory, thinking analysis and other abilities will be greatly improved. Su Hao was a little excited when he heard the system's reply. It turned out that it wasn't just being dumped after a breakup, but cuckolding, it was the system that included blind dates and betrothal gifts. Bing. At this time, the elevator door opened. Su Hao got on the elevator and used his consciousness to communicate with the system. While he was pleasantly surprised, he also thought of some other possibilities. After all, he was an old bookworm. System, can you change me to a Shenhao system or a sign-in system or something like that? Can't. Isn't it really possible? That's really not possible. Still the system's irritable tomboy. Tongzi, can you change the voice of Sister Yu? Then the system changed to the voice of Sister Yu. System, why is your unlock password MMP? I will cheat you sooner or later. Su Hao was still very curious about this sexy operation. Because this system is a green version. I don't know why, but Su Hao feels a little uneasy. If the system has bugs, can I still uninstall it? Host, please rest assured. This system can super evolve the body. It only has benefits and no side effects. Su Hao nodded, finally relieved. He came to the company and checked in, then sat down at the workstation and continued to communicate with the system. He quickly learned a lot about the system. In the super evolution system, by consuming evolution points, you can evolve a certain part of your body and each evolution will gain different abilities. The host can obtain evolution points by completing system tasks and lighting up life achievements. Ding, the system task is released. Complete the first confession of love in life and you can get 200 evolution points. Su Hao was stunned and said, my first confession in life has been completed long ago. Host, confessions made while wearing crotchless pants don't count. Su Hao had a dark look on his face, what kind of system is this? How come he knows everything? Since you want to express your love, you must have someone to express your love to, right? Su Hao thought about all the young women he knew one by one and was very confused. Ah Hao, why are you so dazed? Who do you think I was riding in the elevator with just now? Suddenly, colleague Dong Fatty came in from outside carrying a bag and patted Su Hao on the shoulder with a look of excitement on his face. Boo. Su Hao frowned. The ice beauty of our company, Shen Yuefei. Patty Dong raised his eyebrows. Wu Zishan. What's the joy of riding in the elevator with her? Su Hao shook his head speechlessly. She wore an all skirt today and paired it with silver diamond high heels. You don't know how beautiful she is. Patty Dong looked like a loner. The fascinating image of Shen Yuefei wearing a professional skirt also appeared in Su Hao's mind. Shen Yuefei, the president of Hongxing Group, is the most beautiful woman in the business world. She is the most beautiful woman in the business world. She has a cold personality and a stern smile and is called an ice beauty by people in the company. But she also has another nickname, that is Wu Zishan. This is because of her resolute and decisive work style in the company, which makes all employees in the company fear her. She is the real-life queen. Chapter 2 I sent the wrong words of love. However, Shen Yuefei's talent and ability in the business world are admired by everyone. When the group faced hundreds of millions in debt and the capital chain was broken, Shen Yuefei turned the tide, solved the company's crisis, and at the same time allowed the company to grow and develop. In just 2 years, Shen Yuefei successfully listed Hongxing Group with a market value of several billion. As a woman with both good looks and talent, Shen Yuefei has certainly attracted the covetous attention of male compatriots from all walks of life, but she remains unmoved. Even in the gossip circle, some people speculated that Shen Yuefei might be a lesbian, which even aroused heated discussion for a while. Shen Yuefei herself didn't care about this because her aloofness and arrogance made her disdainful to explain all this. Su Hao sighed secretly, wondering which man could get such a domineering female president. Patty Dong was still thinking about the scene just now, with a look of helplessness on his face. Pad man, it's 8:40 now, which means that when you took the elevator with Ice Beauty just now, you were already late. Su Hao tapped the time on his phone. Patty Dong's expression suddenly changed. You're done. Su Hao looked at him with sympathy. It was so f***ing miserable. He was caught on the spot by the ruthless CEO when he was late. Patty Dong knew that his bonus for this month had turned into a swan and flown away. Woo. Patty Dong felt depressed for a while. Su Hao grinned, thinking that he still had a confession mission. Although he didn't have a suitable person to confess to, he could prepare his confession words first. Then he thought of his best friend in college, New Shaji. This guy also writes novels on Tomato Novel Network after work. Although his results are not good, he said the Tomato readers are all handsome men and beautiful women, and they are very cute. This is the motivation for him to persevere. New Shaji's writing style is quite good and he has also dated 2 girlfriends, so he must be experienced in expressing love. Su Hao opened WeChat and sent a message to New Shaji. Lao New, find me some confession words, urgently needed. Buzz. The phone vibrated soon, which showed that New Shaji was also fishing on his phone at this time. New Shaji. Damn it, Sugu, you finally hooked up with a girl, are you wet dog head? Su Hao. Get lost, I was about to confess my love, but I can't. New Shaji. Confession. You idiot in love, do you know that confessing your love is equivalent to death in public? Let's talk about it first. Su Hao. Damn you, you fool, wait online, I'm in a hurry. New Shaji. Okay, if you don't listen to me, do as you wish. I'll give you some safe confession words for you to use. It will make the little girl's heart tremble. I have to say that Nushaji was very quick in this regard and soon he sent several words of love. Su Hao opened it and took a look. I want to drill wood into you to make fire and ignite this life. The solitary smoke in the desert is too straight for me, but the setting sun on the long river is the roundest for me. I want to be ranked not only in the king of pesticides, but also you. Damn it, uncle, is this a safe confession of love? This new Shaji is full of sluts, and at first glance, what he wrote on Tomato is not a serious novel. But you can save these dirty words first, just in case you need them. Su Hao directly pressed and long pressed to make a copy and pasted it into his mobile phone log. At this moment, suddenly a middle-aged man in a white shirt walked over, wearing silver-rimmed glasses and a greasy face. It was Shai Dapping, the manager of the program development department. Stop playing with your mobile phone. Today, the marketing and design department is going to add a dating activity entrance to the emotional page of the app. Be sure to make the activity entrance well today. If you don't do it well, you will work overtime tonight. Shai Dapping said arrogantly. Ah. Everyone in the program development department lamented and wailed. There are a total of 9 people in their department. Excluding Shai Dapping who is not working, there are only 8 people left. It is crazy to have to complete the event entrance in one day. Su Hao was speechless for a while. This Shai Dapping treated them like donkeys of the production team just for his own performance appraisal. This guy came in because of his relationship with the company's shareholders. He doesn't understand programming at all. He goes to work every day to drink tea, play with fish, and flirt with the company's front desk lady. He doesn't do anything serious. Everyone in their department had quite a few complaints against Shai Dapping, but because he had a tough relationship with him, they had no choice but to swallow their anger. Shai Dapping then divided the work tasks into 8 parts and handed them to each employee. When Su Hao got the list of content he was responsible for, he rolled his eyes. This ridiculous workload will be completed all night tonight. By the way, the test report of the 618 publicity campaign plan is out, right? Shai Dapping held the teacup and walked to Su Hao's workstation and asked. Come out, manager. Su Hao nodded. Then you send a copy of the report directly to Mr. Shen. She said she wanted to see it yesterday. As Shai Dapping spoke, he picked up a tea box Su Hao placed on his workstation and took out a bag of tea leaves. This middle-aged greasy pig, you have a monthly salary of 50,000 to 60,000 yuan and you still take advantage of your employees, you are so mean. After Shai Dapping left, Su Hao directly put his tea box in the cabinet. Then I found the link and file of the test report and then clicked on the wretched avatar of Ice Beauty Shen Yuefei. Su Hao habitually clicked on his friend's circle and found that he had been blocked from permission and his friend's circle was not allowed to be viewed. Then he copied the link and file of the test report and sent it to Shen Yuefei. Su Hao didn't start working next. Nonsense, he should study his own super evolution system first. Bing, the system prompts. Complete the confession task and get a reward of 100 evolution points. Is the confession mission completed? What's the situation? He hasn't found a partner to express his feelings to yet, so why has the mission been completed? This is impossible. Moreover, those flirty words that New Shaji sent just now are of no use at all. Who would use such flirty words to express love? Is there a bug in the super evolution system? Su Hao was speechless for a while, what system was he bound to? This green version of the system just doesn't work. Buzz. At this moment, his phone suddenly vibrated. Su Hao opened it and saw that he had received a new message on WeChat, which was sent by the Ice Beauty Shen Yuefei. Shen Yuefei. Come to my office. He was a little confused. What was Wu Zixin calling him for? Could it be that there was something wrong with the test report I sent her? Su Hao pulled up the chat box and was suddenly shocked. He had just copied the confession message Yu Shaji sent him and sent it to Shen Yuefei. It must be that he failed to copy the test report link when he copied it and sent the last copied content. Damn it. It's over. Su Hao secretly cried out, breaking into a cold sweat. What's this thing called? He clicked quickly and wanted to withdraw, but it had timed out and could not be withdrawn. Chapter 3. Do you still want to get the certificate from yourself? Su Hao was a little panicked. This was Shen Yuefei who was decisive in killing and had strong skills. Shen Yuefei will definitely be furious when she sees the message she sent. According to this woman's style of doing things, I'm afraid that losing her job is just a minor thing. If not, she might even be labeled as workplace harassment and her career would be completely over. There was once a company executive who was punished by Shen Yuefei for taking a small kickback and was also blacklisted in the industry. His own behavior is much more serious than taking kickbacks. Su Hao knew that there was no way to avoid this matter today, so he had no choice but to bite the bullet. Then he took a sip of water, calmed down, and walked out of the program development department. The president's office is on the 5th floor of the company. In addition to the office, the 5th floor also houses Shen Yuefei's private library, entertainment room, leisure room, reception room, etc. Su Hao came to the elevator and pressed it. Ding dong. The elevator door opened and he stepped into the elevator, feeling as if he had entered a courtroom. When he came to the door of the president's office, the female secretary Wang Meng sitting at the door looked at him curiously. "Su Hao, what are you doing here?" Wang Meng asked. "Mr. Shen is looking for me." Su Hao explained. "Looking for you?" Wang Meng was a little surprised. Generally, employees with Su Hao's position have no interaction with the president. After all, there are company executives in between. However, she didn't think Su Hao was joking, so she picked up the phone and called Mr. Shen for instructions. "Mr. Shen, Su Hao from the program development department said you were looking for him and he's here." Wang Meng said. "Well, let him in." Shen Yuefei's voice came from the phone. "Okay, Mr. Shen." Wang Meng nodded and looked at Su Hao with complicated eyes. According to the company's daily procedures, if the president wants to see anyone, he will first tell Wang Meng and Wang Meng will then convey the notice. This time, he was not notified, so there was only one possibility. Mr. Shen called Su Hao through private WeChat. Could it be that Su Hao and the CEO are related in some way? Thinking of this, she quickly stepped forward respectfully and took the initiative to open the door of the president's office. "Su Hao, Mr. Shen wants you to come in." Su Hao nodded and walked into the president's office. Big, very big. This was his first impression when he walked into the president's office. The office is more than 200 square meters, decorated in Chinese style, very luxurious. As soon as you walk into the office, you can see the landscape paintings hanging on the front wall. In front of the landscape painting is a Chinese-style leather seat for guests, and the bookcase next to it is filled with various trophies, certificates, and works of art. Further inside is a long desk with 2 computers and some folders on it. At this moment, Shen Yuefei was sitting at the table, holding a pen in her hand and signing a company document with her head lowered. Su Hao walked to the table and didn't know what to say. At this moment, time became painful. However, Shen Yuefei still didn't speak. This woman must have broken through her own psychological defense first, or she was thinking about how to deal with herself. "Mr. Shen." Su Hao took the initiative to speak. "Well, you're here and I read the message you sent me." Shen Yuefei raised her head, put down the pen in her hand, and stared at him with her beautiful eyes, her face calm. "Mr. Shen, please listen to my explanation." Su Hao wanted to explain. But Shen Yuefei suddenly waved her hand and said, "No need to explain, we are all young people. I understand. Do you really like me?" "Ahem, no." Su Hao said awkwardly. "You're not confessing your love to me? Are you deliberately teasing me?" Shen Yuefei's face turned cold. "Mr. Shen, would you believe me if I said I sent it by mistake?" Su Hao said calmly. "Do not believe." Shen Yuefei shook her head. Su Hao was speechless. It seemed that this woman really didn't want to let him go. In this case, he had a decision in his mind. "That's right, Mr. Shen, I just like you. I have liked you for a long time. I have liked you since I joined the company. I really don't want to keep my admiration for you in my heart, so today I mustered up the courage to give you sent those words." Su Hao said boldly. Yes, this was his decision. Since he was going to be expelled, he admitted that he liked Shen Yuefei, and the messages he insisted on sending were actually his confession to Shen Yuefei. Because if he didn't admit it like this, those text messages would probably become teasing and harassment to Shen Yuefei. In this case, if he is fired, he will probably be blacklisted in the industry and become the laughingstock of the industry. In that case, his career will really be over. Even if Su Hao could refuse to admit it and say that his confession was wrong, Shen Yuefei's attitude was already obvious. She chose not to believe it and it was hard for her to defend herself. "Oh? Then what do you like about me?" Shen Yuefei's tone softened. "I like of course Mr. Shen, you are beautiful. I am a person who is obsessed with appearance." Su Hao said quietly. "Well, okay, since you like me, you definitely want me to be your girlfriend, right?" Shen Yuefei suddenly asked. "Huh? This of course." Su Hao was a little confused. This woman has gone too far. She wants to clean herself up, but why is she still making fun of herself? It's simply terrible. "So you want to marry me too?" Shen Yuefei raised her eyebrows. Being able to marry a woman like Mr. Shen is a blessing earned in 8 lifetimes. Su Hao nodded and patted the horse by the way, just in case the woman was happy and stopped worrying about him. "Okay, then I agree to be your girlfriend. By the way, prepare your household registration book. We will go get the certificate later." Shen Yuefei suddenly slapped the table and said cheerfully. "What the hell?" Su Hao was completely confused. Is this woman crazy, or is she dreaming? The woman in front of her is Shen Yuefei, one of the four beauties in Yanbei, a woman that many men have been dreaming about. Now she actually agreed to be his girlfriend and still wants to get a certificate from him. Isn't this too scary? If it were you, would you believe it? Only a fool would believe it. Su Hao is obviously not a fool, even though he is quite handsome. He also saw a hint of pride on Shen Yuefei's pretty face, which made the meaning even more obvious. The trap must be a trap, a gentle trap. But since it is a trap, it has Shen Yuefei's purpose. What purpose can she have? Su Hao was even more confused. His hometown had several acres of land and several brick houses. I don't even have a house in Yanbei, I still rent a house, and I only have a few thousand in my bank card. Su Hao thought about it and found that he didn't seem to have any intentions, which was even more terrifying. Shen Yuefei, this ice beauty, didn't know what kind of hole she had dug for herself. Was she trying to trick herself to death and then keep herself in the dark? Refuse, he must refuse. Chapter 4. Didn't you confess your love to me? Get a certificate? No, no. Su Hao quickly shook his head. What do you mean? You're not happy to collect the certificate from me? Shen Yuefei frowned, a little unhappy, as if she had been hit. She is Shen Yuefei, a beautiful woman who combines talent and beauty. How many people in Yanbei and even in the entire country of China covet her beauty? But the stupid boy in front of him actually refused me, which was a complete insult to me. Mr. Shen, stop teasing me, just be happy. How do you want to punish me? Su Hao asked directly. Why should I punish you? I want to get the certificate with you. Shen Yuefei said seriously. Get the certificate? The two of us? Stop making trouble. I'm not making trouble. Didn't you confess your love to me? Don't you want to marry me? There was really no joking in Shen Yuefei's tone. Su Hao frowned and suddenly understood. He had a guess in his mind that this woman must be pregnant and wanted to make him a father and a successor. Mr. Shen, you don't need to let others bear the responsibility for the trouble you caused by your own indulgence, right? Besides, you can get rid of this kind of thing. He immediately made suggestions. Did I cause trouble? What trouble? What is this mess? Shen Yuefei is confused. Do it? Mr. Shen, stop pretending. You must want me to be the successor, right? Although I have no money, I still have the guts. It's impossible for you to want me to be the second father. Su Hao shook his head. Shen Yuefei understood immediately, raised her eyebrows, and said coldly. What nonsense are you talking about? I've never been in love, how could I get pregnant? Do you have no brains? Which one of us has no brains? If you want to get the certificate from me, you must be digging a hole for me. Su Hao boldly said that he was going to break his skin and there was no need to be polite to this bitch. So you're worried about this? Shen Yuefei moved her boss chair back, took out a document from the drawer and threw it in front of the table. Su Hao took a look and saw that it was a prenuptial agreement. Take a look. Su Hao picked up the prenuptial agreement and read it. Of course, the main one was about property rights after marriage. This woman is really cunning. She asked her to get the certificate but she didn't even give her any money. No wonder she can become the president. She's so cunning. Mr. Shen, what do you mean? You can get a marriage license with me for 1 year. If you get divorced after 1 year, I will give you a sum of money. Shen Yuefei said it very frankly. Su Hao finally understood that this was Shen Yuefei's purpose, to have a fake marriage with him, which frightened him and thought he was being tricked. If you just say it directly, it will be over and you will be frightened. I am married for the first time. If you look back like this, I will be married for the second time. Su Hao said quietly, still unwilling in his heart. Who is not the first to marry? Shen Yuefei was angry. Then I can refuse, right? Su Hao raised his eyebrows and asked tentatively. Okay, then I will hand over the harassing messages you sent me to the company's legal department. Shen Yuefei said lightly. I knew this woman would threaten me. Do you think I'm really afraid? Su Hao gritted his teeth and just when he was about to refuse, suddenly the system notification sounded in his mind. System prompt. After completing the achievement of getting a marriage certificate, you can get a reward of 1000 evolution points. The reward of 1000 evolution points is so attractive. After getting evolution points, you can not only evolve your brain to LV2, but also evolve your eyes. He didn't know what abilities the eyes would have after they evolved. Su Hao was very excited when he thought about this. He boldly walked to the table, pulled the chair next to him, and sat across from Shen Yuefei. 1 year, how much money will you give me after the divorce? 1 million. Shen Yuefei spoke. 1 million is a very large amount of property for ordinary people, but for Yanbei, it is just enough to pay the down payment for a house. But for the current Su Hao, it still has great appeal. After all, for him, an office worker, he couldn't even save 100,000 yuan a year. Okay, I agree. Su Hao said readily that the ice beauty had nothing to worry about, so what did he, a grown man, have to be afraid of? What's more, after the divorce, I still have a breakup fee of 1 million. The key is that there are also system evolution point rewards. Okay, please don't announce anything about the two of us in the company. Shen Yuefei said seriously. Then can I ask, why do you have to get married? Su Hao couldn't help but be curious. You don't need to know this, you will understand later. Shen Yuefei said. Then why choose me? Because it's easier for you to control. Su Hao was quite depressed about this reason. Wasn't it because he was handsome? It's because it's easy to control. This woman is so arrogant, is she too confident? It is not certain who will control him in the future. Su Hao thought in his mind that he would have to be wary of this woman in the future. Beautiful women are not scary. What is scary is that beautiful women are educated. At this time, Shen Yuefei handed over a pen and Su Hao signed the prenuptial agreement directly. Where is your household registration book? Shen Yuefei asked. Where I live. You go to the parking lot and wait for me. I'll change my clothes. I'll take you to get your household registration book first and then register and get your certificate. There's no need to be in such a hurry, right? Su Hao couldn't laugh or cry, he just got married as soon as he said he was going to get married. Isn't this too fast? Isn't it 520 today? Shen Yuefei said quietly. Oh wow, Su Hao never expected that this ice beauty would still care about this. It's quite fashionable. By the way, you won't ask me to have children with you after we get married, right? Su Hao asked again worriedly. Shen Yuefei didn't answer, just looked at him like an idiot. Okay, I'm going to the parking lot. Su Hao said awkwardly, did he think too much? This woman just pretended to be married to him for some reason and she wasn't asking for a child with a lot of money. Su Hao went back to the department first and said to Fatty Dong, hey, Fatty, I'm going out for a while. If Shy Dapping asks, just say I went to the toilet. Damn it, Master Su, we have such a workload and you still go out to hang out. How long do you want to work tonight? Fatty Dong couldn't help but complain. I don't want to go out either. The president forced me. Su Hao said angrily. Did the CEO force you? Today is 520. Isn't it Ice Beauty who forced you to go with her to get the certificate? Fatty Dong joked. Hey, fat man, I have to say, your mouth is really amazing, your guesses are so accurate. Su Hao grinned. Just brag, if you can get the certificate from Ice Beauty, I will recognize you as my father. Fatty Dong said playfully. Su Hao was shocked, oh, he is such a big boy. Chapter 5 Super Programming Speed. Su Hao came to the parking lot and soon saw Shen Yuefei changing into casual clothes. Even in casual clothes, it still couldn't hide her graceful figure. This woman was really a monster. However, she was wearing a mask. She must be afraid of being seen by acquaintances. Let's go, where is your car? Shen Yuefei walked closer and said to him. I don't have a car. Su Hao felt a little ashamed. No car? Shen Yuefei was a little stunned, but she had no choice but to lead him to the other side of the parking lot. Su Hao followed him and saw a Lamborghini parked there. Huh? Isn't your car a Maserati? He was a little stunned. I didn't drive that one today, I drove this one. Shen Yuefei explained. Su Hao was shocked. Damn it, how much money does this woman have? She can trade it for a sports car. Shen Yuefei originally wanted to ride in Su Hao's car. After all, her Lamborghini was too ostentatious, but now she could only drive it. Then the two people left the company. Shen Yuefei drove a sports car to the community where Su Hao rented a house and then went straight to the Civil Affairs Bureau. Wow. As soon as the Lamborghini appeared, it attracted onlookers from passers-by. Shen Yuefei hurriedly ran into the lobby of the Civil Affairs Bureau. Because registration requires two people to go to the photo studio to take photos first, Su Hao realized that he had forgotten to change into new clothes. After all, these were his wedding photos. At this time, there were several groups of couples waiting in line in the photo studio. Hey, did you see that? Those two people are also here to register and get their licenses. The woman is driving a Lamborghini. No way. That man is all dressed up, so he must be being kept. The couple was talking nearby. Su Hao almost vomited blood. What happened to the stuff on his body? Why was he being kept? After a while, the two people got the photos and came to the registration window. Hello, let's register the marriage. Shen Yuefei sat down and spoke. Well, you two, are you sure you want to get the certificate? The staff of the Civil Affairs Bureau were a little surprised. After all, the clothes of Su Hao and Shen Yuefei were very different and they didn't look like a loving couple at all. Sure. Shen Yuefei nodded. Girl, our marriage law stipulates that marriage must be completely voluntary for both men and women. No party is allowed to force the other party or any third party to interfere. Are you voluntary? The staff asked again. Well, I volunteered. Shen Yuefei nodded. Okay, bring your household registration book and ID card and fill in this form. The staff handed over 2 forms. Su Hao was a little unhappy. What did the elder sister of the Civil Affairs Bureau mean? Why did she only ask Shen Yuefei if she was willing? Why didn't she ask herself? Soon the staff stamped a marriage certificate and handed it to them. It's done. By the way, couples who have just received their certificates can go to the second floor to have a free experience. It's free. The eldest sister from the Civil Affairs Bureau reminded. Okay, thanks. Shen Yuefei took the red notebook and prepared to leave. However, Su Hao came to the stairs and was going to go to the second floor to have a look. He didn't know what the free experience was like. On. Shen Yuefei glared at him. Why don't we go for a physical examination? Su Hao grinned. Shen Yuefei raised her eyebrows and wanted to swear, physical examination, sister. The two left the Civil Affairs Bureau and Shen Yuefei quickly drove back to the company parking lot. On the way, the two did not say a word. Let's go upstairs separately. You go up first and I'll go up later. Shen Yuefei said. Boss Shen, we are husband and wife now. Isn't it time for you to give your husband a promotion and a raise? Su Hao held the red book in his hand and became much bolder. Get out. Shen Yuefei glared at him with her beautiful eyes. It was just a joke, this woman can't take a joke. Su Hao looked helpless and could only get out of the car and go upstairs. Just as he returned to his workstation and sat down, Fatty Dong ran over. Master Su, you are finally back. Damn, what have you been doing? This time you are dead. Fatty Dong said anxiously. What's wrong? Su Hao frowned. As soon as you left your workstation, Shai Dapping came to ask you what you were doing, so I told him that you went to the toilet. Fatty Dong said awkwardly. Su Hao's face was dark and he asked. How long has it been since I went to the toilet? Not too long, 1.5 hours. Fatty Dong said faintly. This lie is not easy to make up. I took a shit for 1.5 hours. Su Hao didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Su Hao. You still remember to come back. Suddenly, Shai Dapping's roaring voice came. Fatty Dong shuddered and hurried back to his workstation to avoid being affected by the war. Shai Dapping walked over with a dark face. Ahem, Manager Shai, you're looking for me? Su Hao pretended to be confused. Su Hao, you are good, you have become a veteran in the workplace, you are fishing in troubled waters here, not working hard, what did you do? Shai Dapping said angrily. Manager, I have diarrhea. I just went to the toilet. Diarrhea? You can have diarrhea for 1.5 hours. Who are you kidding? Shai Dapping slapped the table in exasperation. The FFT, haha. The other colleagues in the program development department couldn't help laughing. Manager, I had diarrhea in 3 waves, each for half an hour. Su Hao said shamelessly, what is he afraid of? At worst, he would confront the Ice Beauty and then see who the Ice Beauty would help. When this was said, the colleagues laughed so hard that they fell backwards. Okay, you kid, lawless, I tell you, I will arrange your workload today. If you can't complete it, not only will you lose this month's bonus, but your year-end bonus will also be deducted. Shai Dapping left with a dark face. TSK, Master Su, you are awesome. Fatty Dong gave Su Hao a thumbs up. Su Hao shook his head helplessly, sat in front of the phone and opened the programming software. Although he is Shen Lefei's husband now, it is useless. He still has to work, otherwise he will pay the rent and have nothing to eat. He went out to get the marriage certificate in the morning, which delayed a lot of time. I am afraid I have to work overtime until dawn tonight. Su Hao immediately programmed according to the module, but he suddenly found that his programming speed was very fast, much faster than usual, and every time he finished programming and testing, there was no bug. Su Hao was a little strange. Could it be that his brain has evolved and his intelligence has improved? He had this guess in his mind and started testing immediately. In the end, he was surprised to find that his programming was completely easy. In the past, he wrote a paragraph and then tested a paragraph and he was completely unskilled. But now those programming codes emerged with his own ideas and he easily typed out the code with his hands and there were no so-called bugs. Chapter 6 The Brain Completes LV2 Evolution. Su Hao was pleasantly surprised and typed the code quickly. His memory and understanding of the code turned out to be very proficient. Moreover, according to the design of the module, his analysis ability is also surprisingly fast and he can program quickly according to the design. Click, click. Su Hao typed the code as fast as flying, like typing words. I said how, you type the code so fast and there are still a lot of mistakes. you should be more steady. Patty Dong heard the sound of Su Hao's keyboard from the side and couldn't help but suggest something. More stable. You are obviously very stable now, okay. Su Hao finally realized the ability brought by the system. It turned out to be so miraculous. It seemed that this evolution was extraordinary. At around 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Su Hao's keyboard sound stopped because he had finished all his work. It's incredible that I completed such a large workload so quickly. Su Hao couldn't help but sigh. At his usual speed, he would have to work all night with such a heavy workload. Great, I can get off work on time. Su Hao stretched, then packed his things and got ready to get off work. I said, Hao, you are going crazy. You still get off work on time. You can't complete your work. Do you really don't want your year-end bonus? Patty Dong was still busy typing code. Who says I can't finish it? I've already done it. Su Hao shrugged. Done? Just blow it. Patty Dong shook his head speechlessly. Su Hao didn't bother to explain. He couldn't tell Fatty that he was a man with a system now, right? After all, no one can tell this kind of secret. At 5:30, Su Hao directly picked up his bag and left work. All the colleagues in the program development department were shocked and shook their heads at the same time. They thought Su Hao might have broken the pot. Oh, I'm still young. I don't have a wife or children. I can do whatever I want. That's right, middle-aged coders like us have no choice but to swallow our anger. I think Xiao Su is just stupid. His year-end bonus is tens of thousands. Isn't this a waste of money? Several older colleagues chatted with each other. From the company to Su Hao's rented place, it takes an hour by subway, plus the walking distance, it basically takes an hour and a half. It was already 7 o'clock when he returned to the community. Unexpectedly, he just came downstairs and said that by coincidence, he met the landlord Aunt Shu and her daughter Meng Kiki. Su Hao was a little embarrassed, lowered his head and wanted to walk into the building. Xiao Su, you're 7 days past the rent payment date. Have you forgotten? Aunt Shu had actually seen him a long time ago. In a big city like Yanqing, Su Hao's salary was not much left after deducting expenses and he had to send money to his family every month. After all, his parents spent a lot of money to send him to college and he also wanted to help reduce the burden on his family. Because each rent payment was for 3 months, Su Hao only had 2,000 yuan left in his card, which was not enough. Aunt Shu, I'm not rich lately, can you give me a 2-day extension? When I get paid, I will definitely transfer the rent to you. Su Hao spoke in embarrassment. I see, it's okay. The rent can be paid next month. Aunt Shu said cheerfully. Su Hao was a little surprised. My dear, the charter was so generous and easy to talk to today. But, you have to add 10 points of interest next month. Yes, Aunt Shu is still the original charter. Su Hao's eyelids jumped in shock. Well, the charter wanted to start a P2P business. Mom. It's not easy for brother Su either. The daughter next to her, Meng Kiki, couldn't stand it anymore and felt that her mother was going too far. Su Hao still has a good impression of the slim, kind and beautiful Kiki. Aunt Shu immediately said. It's not easy for anyone. I've already given Xiao Su a big discount. If I use my money to buy Kai Kai's semiconductor fund, I can earn 20 points a month. Well, this Aunt Shu also plays in funds and buys semiconductors and roller coasters. Everyone knows that with this kind of technology fund, you want to copy it, but it will copy you. Auntie, the 20 points a month you mentioned must be the market trend last year. It has been green lately. Although Su Hao didn't have much money and didn't buy any funds, he still paid attention to the market. What do you know? Auntie also bought new energy and liquor. Aunt Shu suddenly said proudly. Su Hao was confused, it was great to have money. Auntie, you are very experienced. Many people are young and don't know the aroma of liquor and mistakenly fill up their warehouses with technology. Stop talking nonsense and stop flattering me. If you don't pay your rent next month, I'll kick you out. After Aunt Shu finished speaking, she went to take Meng Kiki away. Kiki, Mom, let me tell you, don't look for a boyfriend like Xiao Su in the future. You can't have a house or a car. Mom, brother Su is handsome. Being handsome has no use, it can be used as food. What do you know, you stupid girl? Without money, life is just firewood, rice, oil, salt and chicken. The charter and her daughter murmured. Su Hao couldn't help but twitch the corner of his mouth after hearing this. It was not very harmful but extremely insulting. He returned to the house. A single room with 1 bedroom and 1 living room cost 1,800 yuan. This price was considered cheap outside the 5th Ring Road. Although there are cheaper options, it is shared housing. The reason why Su Hao did not choose to share a house was because he preferred freedom and a quiet study environment. He can use his effective time to study and make progress. After all, in a place like Yanbei, you won't be able to live for a long time without studying. Su Hao lay down directly on the sofa and studied his super evolution system first. Because he completed the achievement of obtaining a marriage certificate, he received 1000 evolution points and currently has a total of 1200 evolution points. Su Hao also learned about the super evolution system. For the evolution of each part of the body, the system requires 100 evolution points for LV1, 500 evolution points for LV2, 1000 evolution points for LV3, and 5000 evolution points for LV4. He has tasted the benefits of brain evolution and decided to evolve his brain from LV1 to LV2 first. System, start brain evolution. Good host. The system is starting to evolve. The next moment, Su Hao felt himself in a trance. Congratulations to the host, you have successfully completed Brain LV2 evolution. Su Hao immediately checked the current evolution list. Brain LV2 possessed the ability. Advanced Intelligence. Advanced Intelligence, awesome. Su Hao clapped his hands excitedly. Now that Brain LV2 has advanced intelligence, I don't know what kind of magical abilities it will have if it evolves to the next level. But if he wants to evolve to LV3, he doesn't have enough evolution points. In this case, Su Hao decided to start the evolution of the next part, the eyes. System, start the evolution of eyes. Okay, host. Congratulations to the host, you have successfully completed ILV1 evolution. Su Hao couldn't wait to check the evolution list again. Chapter 7 Extraordinary Learning and Photographic Memory. ILV1 possessed the ability. Extraordinary Reading. System, what is this extraordinary reading ability? Su Hao was a little confused. Host, extraordinary reading ability, you can quickly increase your reading speed. Reading speed. Su Hao suddenly saw Encyclopedia of Arabic Linguistics on the table. This was not a book he bought, but one left in the house by the previous tenant. He immediately picked it up and read it. Wow. Su Hao found that his reading speed could be described as 1 glance and 10 lines. This kind of reading speed is not more than 10 times that of others. Huh? I can actually understand this book. Su Hao found that the previously awkward grammar and word usage could now be easily understood and comprehended. Whoa. 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 He flipped through the book very quickly and he still had a photographic memory and he understood all the knowledge in the book. Could this be advanced intelligence? This means that you have strong learning, memory, understanding, thinking, judgment, analysis and other abilities. In half an hour, I finished studying the thick Encyclopedia of Arabic Linguistics. This is Arabic, which was completely incomprehensible to him before. And Su Hao felt like he still had something to say, so he picked up the Arabic dictionary next to him. Yes, it was left by the previous tenant. Maybe this guy is a student majoring in Arabic. After another half hour, Su Hao finished reading the dictionary and all the Arabic words became his memory vocabulary. He opened his mouth and spoke fluent Arabic. That's great. Having this ability is equivalent to having a super brain. Su Hao was very happy. He had extraordinary learning ability, which was equivalent to countless golden fingers. Then he took out all his college professional books. Those who have not been able to learn well in the past should read them all again today. Anyway, they can read 10 lines at a glance. Su Hao directly took out a bag of instant noodles and soaked them, then continued reading. About an hour later, Su Hao read 10 books in a row. He feels that he now has the capabilities of a top network expert. After reading the professional books, Su Hao picked up the English dictionary he bought. Now that he has learned Arabic, he also needs to learn to be proficient in English. Soon Su Hao's English level reached the level of a professional lecturer. At this time, he thought for a while, he must learn some skills to make extra money. After all, I still owe rent. Yes, let's make software. Su Hao immediately thought of the world's largest elite website and community, Julong.com. This website has comprehensive knowledge, just pay to buy a collection of books and practical tutorials. Not only that, here the funder can also publish some commission tasks for software production and program development. Some individuals or organizations in the industry can take on tasks here and after completing the tasks, the results will be sent to the sponsor. The funder receives the results, the person who takes the task earns commission, and then the transaction is successful. Over the years, Julong.com has established a strong credit system with strict evaluation and punishment. It can be said that as long as the results you produce are good enough, you will definitely make money and you don't have to worry about encountering unscrupulous donors. Su Hao clicked to enter the task community, where you can see various tasks. In addition to the different difficulty levels of these tasks, there are also certain requirements for the date when the task should be handed in. Once a task is accepted, the task will automatically expire after the due date. Therefore, personnel who generally accept tasks will not accept them if they are not sure. After all, no one wants to waste time and not make money. Huh? The mission was just released today. Su Hao saw a task pinned to the top and the commission was 30,000 yuan. He clicked on it. The sponsor is a member named Kingzi and the task is to make a shopping app. Shopping mini programs are not very difficult in the industry. But why are there so few people taking on this task? Su Hao soon understood that the delivery date of this task was before 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Although the difficulty is not high, the time is too short, only 12 hours. In the industry, a general small program needs to go through template production, source code development, program testing and other processes, which basically takes 20 to 30 days. Now the mission requires 12 hours. Isn't that an international joke? At this moment, there are already many messages from members under this task. Honest Fatty LV3. This boss wants us programmers to die suddenly. Oriental Bald Man LV4. Yes, the sponsor must be teasing us to deliver results in such a short time. I love eating keyboard LV2. Although this is a small shopping program, the source code can be modified, but it cannot be completed. Golden Rat LV8. Yali Mountain is big. Rice 2 and 2 in LV1. The Golden Rat God appears unexpectedly, my idol. I love eating keyboards LV2. Haha, even the master is under pressure. It was quite interesting for Su Hao to see the messages from these members. All members who took on tasks were divided into different levels. The more tasks you complete, the more difficult it is and the more experience points you gain. This means that the higher the membership level, the higher the technical level of the member. The above level of the Golden Rat is LV8, which is considered the level of a technical master and is already the target of many headhunters. The corner of Su Hao's mouth raised. Others couldn't complete it, but he wanted to challenge it. He immediately spent half an hour learning to develop small programs using JS plus CSS plus HTML5. Then he registered as a member, named Gold Medal Old Wine, and then took over the task of Kingzi, a shopping applet. At this time, the comments under the task exploded. Me too Anchu in LV1. Damn it, which master took over the mission? Oriental Bald Man LV4. Isn't this just a joke? The member who took the mission is named Gold Medal Old Wine. I love eating keyboard LV2. Gold Medal Old Wine LV1. This is a newbie. Honest Fatty LV3. This is just a joke. The mission will fail tomorrow morning. Oriental Bald Man LV4. Beginners are very helpful. If you fail the mission, your reputation points will be deducted. However, at this time, Su Hao had no time to pay attention to the comments, but was typing on the keyboard quickly. Su Hao found that he was typing the keyboard too fast, and those codes seemed to be his own muscle memory. It's finally developed. He glanced at the time. It was 10 o'clock in the evening, just 2 hours later. What is the concept? He could finish what others did in 20 days in 2 hours. If other elites saw the process of writing code, they would definitely vomit blood. Of course, Su Hao's advantage is that he doesn't need to test the program after completing it, which saves a lot of time. Because I have absolute confidence in my own program code. Results delivered. Then he packaged the program, uploaded it and delivered it. Chapter 8. This is making money too fast. I don't know if I can earn this commission. Su Hao muttered, although he was confident in his results, after all, they still had to be reviewed and tested by the other party. I'm afraid this won't be resolved until tomorrow. After he delivered, the quest thread was once again buzzing with activity. Many elite members of Julong.com came to join in the fun. Isn't it nonsense to deliver results in 2 hours? As a result, the discussion about the delivery of this single task has once again become a hot topic. However, Su Hao is not paying attention to these now and is interested in entering the hacker community of Julong.com. As a network expert, he is actually very interested in network hacker attack and defense. When Su Hao was a child, he was envious of those mysterious hackers who attracted him to major in network engineering. Now possessing a super brain, he suddenly became obsessed with learning knowledge. Because he knows that knowledge is wealth. When he saw it, it was directly at 12 o'clock in the evening. If he hadn't had to go to work tomorrow, he might have watched it all night. The next day, Su Hao got up at 5:30. He was surprised to find that he was full of energy and did not feel tired at all. This may be related to evolution. When he came to the breakfast stall downstairs, Su Hao bought a set of pancakes and fruits to eat on the road. Brother Su. Suddenly, she saw Meng Kiki walking over with a rice bowl in her hand. This girl was wearing a large pink t-shirt, denim shorts, and a ponytail. Although the t-shirt is loose, it still cannot conceal an Izzy's pride. Su Hao once guessed that he should at least start at 36C. She really deserves to be the girl next door who has grown up. Kiki is here to buy breakfast. Well, my mother asked me to buy tofu noodle. Meng Kiki shook the rice bowl in her hand. By the way, brother Su, my mother is like that. Don't mind what I said yesterday. Su Hao smiled and said, it's okay. I owe the rent. By the way, you are about to take the college entrance examination, right? Well, there's still half a month. Meng Kiki nodded. Work hard and when you get admitted to college, brother Su will treat you to a big dinner. Brother Su, this is what you said. Meng Kiki jumped happily when she heard it. I'm going to take the subway to work first, so I won't talk to you anymore. Su Hao waved his hand and went to the subway station. Although Su Hao got up early today, the subway was still very late for some reason. He arrived at the company and clocked in at exactly 8:30, which was not earlier than usual. Ding dong. As soon as Su Hao sat down at his workstation, he received a text message on his phone. Your savings card with the last number 1818 received Chinese currency 30,000.00 yuan at 8:31 on May 21st, and the current balance is 32,318.61 yuan. Customer's message. Julong.com commission. Last night, the task I delivered on Julong.com was reviewed by the other party and the commission was received. Su Hao was pleasantly surprised. He really did it and he also got a commission of 30,000 yuan, which is equivalent to 3 months' salary. This is making money too fast. Su Hao. You're still smiling. Why didn't you work overtime yesterday? Just when Su Hao was happy, a roaring voice came. He didn't have to think about it, it must be Shy Dapping. At this moment, all the colleagues in the program development department looked at Su Hao sympathetically. They had already guessed this scene last night. Sure enough, Shy Dapping came over with a teacup. Everyone in our department worked overtime yesterday, where did you go? Why do I have to work overtime? Su Hao said casually. Why do you work overtime? You poor girls still dare to ask me, I declare that your bonus this month is gone, and so is your year-end bonus. Shy Dapping suddenly became furious. Su Hao immediately became angry. He clearly said yesterday that he could get off work as long as he completed his work tasks. He originally wanted to say that he had already completed his tasks when he got off work. But this Shy Dapping didn't allow himself to explain, so he scolded himself for being poor. The key point is that this guy actually deducted his bonus and year-end bonus, which is too much. His surname is Shy, who do you think you are? You're showing off your power. Su Hao said directly. At this moment, colleagues in the department were shocked. Shy Dapping is a department manager and is used to being arrogant. It is common for him to scold and ridicule employees. The employees in the department were all respectful to him and dared not speak out when he was angry. But today, Su Hao actually broke out and openly contradicted him. How could everyone not be shocked? At the same time, everyone was shocked but also secretly excited. After all, Su Hao did what they all wanted to do. Well, Su Hao, you dare to contradict me, do you still want to do it? I am the boss of the department. Believe it or not, I will fire you and you will not get a penny. Shy Dapping said angrily. I said, Manager Shy, you are also a department manager after all. Is there shit in your head? You don't even understand any labor laws. Even if you fire me, the company will still give me compensation. Su Hao said with a playful expression. Huff. At this time, colleagues began to laugh uncontrollably. You. Shy Dapping's face turned red and his neck became thick with anger. What are you doing? And don't call yourself the boss at all times. This is a society governed by the rule of law. Why are you running here to set up a dock? Do you know that your nickname is piece of shit? Su Hao was inexplicably excited when he saw Shy Dapping's deflated look. Anyway, now that I have a super evolution system, there are countless ways to make money and I don't have to worry about being fired. What's more, the president of the company is now his wife. Su Hao. You have rebelled against me. Pack your things and get out. I declare that you are fired. Shy Dapping slapped the table and roared. My shit manager, not only do you not understand labor laws, you don't even know the company's articles of association. Our company's department managers do not have the power to dispose of employee personnel. Only the president has this power to fire employees. What's wrong with you? Get in with the department manager. Su Hao suddenly realized that he was quite domineering when he started to attack. Shy Dapping's face was livid with anger. He had come in because of his connections. Su Hao's words were undoubtedly a sarcastic comment on himself and made his colleagues laugh. Because of the quarrel here, other departments immediately attracted onlookers. Okay, I can't fire you, right? Then I'll ask Mr. Shen to come over. Mr. Shen will fire you even if he knows that you contradict your boss. Just wait to be fired. Shy Dapping gritted his teeth and took out his cell phone. At this time, colleagues all looked at Su Hao with sympathetic eyes. If Shen Yuefei came, there would be only one result and that would be Su Hao's dismissal. After all, contradicting your boss is the most taboo thing for company management, not to mention that Shy Dapping is a relative of a certain shareholder of the company. What are you doing standing here? The sudden shout startled everyone. The person who spoke was none other than Shen Yuefei, who was standing in front of the program development department with a cold face. Chapter 9 You have turned your back on me and disowned me. Shen Yuefei happened to be on the third floor for something. Unexpectedly, she heard the quarrel in the program development department, so she came directly. Ah. Mr. Shen. The employees from other departments who were watching greeted her respectfully when they saw her, and then went back to work. Shy Dapping was pleasantly surprised when he saw Shen Yuefei appear. Mr. Shen, you're here at the right time. This subordinate doesn't listen to my discipline and even contradicts me. I suggest he be fired immediately. He said quickly. What happened? Shen Yuefei frowned. She didn't expect that the person who had an argument with Shy Dapping was Su Hao. That's it, Mr. Shen, this kid yesterday. Shy Dapping started talking in a garbled voice, basically describing Su Hao as having no merits, such as being arrogant, disobeying the company's arrangements, and fishing for money at work. Mr. Shen, this kid sneaked out during work hours yesterday morning and even tricked me into going to the toilet. He is so lawless. Shy Dapping talked about what happened yesterday. Su Hao secretly laughed in his heart. Shen Yuefei doesn't know better than you whether he was absent from work yesterday. Shen Yuefei waved her hand, not wanting to hear Shy Dapping continue talking. Su Hao, did you contradict Manager Shy just now? She walked up to Su Hao. Yes, but he was the first to curse, and he also wanted to deduct my bonus and year-end bonus for no reason. Su Hao spoke out without any fear. Manager Shy, are you swearing too? Shen Yuefei frowned. Mr. Shen, I was also angry for a moment, but this guy ran away yesterday without working overtime. The work was not completed, which delayed the delivery of today's tasks. This will delay the launch of the event. Shy Dapping immediately changed the topic. Who told you that I didn't finish my work? I finished all the work that was given to me yesterday. I got off work normally. What's wrong? Su Hao raised his eyebrows and asked. Have you finished your work? Are you kidding me? Others work until midnight, but you finish it at 5:30. Shy Dapping said angrily. Okay, stop arguing. Where are the results of your work? Shen Yuefei waved her hand and looked at Su Hao. Su Hao immediately turned on the computer and found the program files from last night. Shy Dapping was startled when he saw the program file and immediately said. You must not have finished it. You made a program full of bugs and you think you can fool it. Manager Shy, if there are any bugs, just run it and it will be fine. Why are you so anxious? The corners of Su Hao's mouth rose. Okay. Mr. Shen is here and you are being stubborn, then you can try running it. Shy Dapping snorted coldly. Su Hao then immediately tested the program and ran it. The final feedback results showed that there were no errors. But what does Shy Dapping know about programming? He can't understand it. Manager Shy, how are you doing? Shen Yuefei's eyebrows jumped and she asked. Here, Xiaodong, come and take a look. Shy Dapping quickly waved to Fatty Dong. Fatty Dong could only come over to check. He was surprised to see that Su Hao's work was really done. Mr. Shen, Su Hao's work has indeed been completed and there are no bugs. Fatty Dong said. As soon as these words came out, other colleagues in the program development department were also shocked. What? Shy Dapping was dumbfounded. Manager Shy, now that Su Hao has finished, you misunderstood him before. Shen Yuefei said. Mr. Shen, there must be something wrong here. You guys, come and take a look. Shy Dapping called other colleagues in the department over again. But my colleagues took a look and found that there were no problems at all. The application and fluency of the program were even better than those of them, veteran programmers. Shy Dapping was completely suffocated and didn't know what to say for a moment. Manager Shy, please be more patient with your employees in the future. Shen Yuefei said with a sullen face. Shy Dapping was extremely depressed. Wasn't he suffering a dumb loss? Okay, let's get to work. Shen Yuefei said. Mr. Shen, but if Su Hao contradicts his boss, just let it go. How could Shy Dapping be so willing? If Su Hao wasn't punished at all, how could he swallow his anger? Shen Yuefei frowned, a little displeased. In fact, she was very clear about Shy Dapping's abilities. If it weren't for the face of the company's directors, she would have eliminated such mediocre and incompetent people from the company long ago. What she just said to Shy Dapping was a warning to him, but she didn't expect that this guy didn't know how to praise. What's more, Su Hao is still her husband, even though he is fake. Manager Shy, please focus more on your work. Shen Yuefei's tone was cold and she glared at Shy Dapping. Yes, Mr. Shen. Shy Dapping shivered in fright and nodded repeatedly. Who is Shen Yuefei? The person at the helm of the company, the cold-faced Yan Luo who is decisive and decisive. With one look, he didn't dare to say anything else. Just when Shen Yuefei was about to leave, Su Hao suddenly spoke. Mr. Shen, I suggest that the program development department get a new manager. This manager Shai doesn't understand programming at all and only gives random instructions every day. Anyway, he had a conflict with Shai Dapping, so Su Hao didn't care anymore, so he might as well take this opportunity to report the problem. You. Shai Dapping stuttered angrily. Colleagues in the program development department looked at Su Hao one by one with admiration in their eyes, which completely expressed their feelings. But Shen Yuefei was a little dissatisfied. She had clearly defended Su Hao just now, but this guy didn't know enough was enough and he actually took the initiative to cause trouble. Are you more patient than me, the CEO? I don't know. Su Hao, if you want to make suggestions, come to the office with me. After Shen Yuefei finished speaking, she turned around and walked out of the room. She didn't want to continue chatting with Su Hao here. If this guy got impulsive and told about the two of them getting certificates, it would not end well. Just go. Su Hao followed directly. Shai Dapping felt like stars were popping up in front of his eyes and he felt really aggrieved. After a while, Shen Yuefei and Su Hao arrived on the 5th floor. Wang Mang, the president's secretary, was a little surprised when he saw it. Who is this Su Hao? Why is he with the president again? Wang Mang, I want to discuss something with Su Hao, please don't let anyone disturb me. Shen Yuefei gave an order. Okay, Mr. Shen. Wang Mang nodded quickly in agreement. The two of them walked into the office. Shen Yuefei ignored Su Hao and sat down at the desk and turned on the computer, as if Su Hao was not there. Honey, you should have dismissed Shai Dapping from his post just now. Su Hao said shamelessly. Snapped. When Shen Yuefei heard this title, she slammed the table and said angrily. Su Hao, who do you call your wife? Who is your wife? We just received our certificates yesterday and now you've turned your back on me and stopped recognizing me. Su Hao said deliberately. Chapter 10 You cunning woman. Su, if you keep pretending to be stupid with me, do you believe that I will really shoot you? Shen Yuefei said angrily. Shoot me? Okay, it just so happens that we too go to the Civil Affairs Bureau again. Su Hao said indifferently. Go to the Civil Affairs Bureau? What to do? Shen Yuefei was stunned. Divorce. To be honest, I regret it. Divorce. Okay, no problem. Shen Yuefei was a little surprised, then nodded. Su Hao was stunned, couldn't he? This woman actually agreed so readily. Real? Really, but you have to think clearly. Do you understand the prenuptial agreement? Shen Yuefei's beautiful eyes blinked with cunning eyes. What's the meaning? Su Hao was stunned and suddenly had a bad premonition. If you get divorced after less than a year of marriage, you have to pay compensation. How many? It's not much, just 200 million. Shen Yuefei said quietly. What the hell? 200 million. You cunning woman. Su Hao's eyelids twitched and he almost vomited blood, but he was tricked by this woman. What are you talking about? You are in the workplace. Don't you know how to sign an agreement and a contract? Do you have to read all the terms? Shen Yuefei looked proud. Okay, you can't get a divorce, right? Then I'll resign. Su Hao gritted his teeth. Resign? Why do you want to resign? Shen Yuefei raised her eyebrows. Why? How can Shai Dapping be a department manager? You have seen what happened today. He can't even understand programming language. For such a mediocre person to be a middle manager, don't you, the president, have any responsibility? But such department leaders, there is little room for development. Su Hao said a lot in succession. I don't think these are the main reasons. Are you afraid that Shai Dapping will wear small shoes for you? Shen Yuefei asked with the corners of her mouth raised. Ahem, this woman's IQ is too high. Yes, this was what Su Hao was worried about. This time he contradicted Shai Dapping. Shai Dapping, a villain who always wanted revenge, would definitely find an opportunity to deal with him in the future. Am I afraid of him? It's a joke. Su Hao would definitely not admit it. Since you're not afraid, just stay and let me protect you. What can Shai Dapping do to you? Shen Yuefei said quietly. Of course she didn't want Su Hao to resign. After all, she would still need Su Hao to cooperate with her later. Hey, it seems that my wife is ready to protect her husband. Su Hao joked. If you don't act upright, I'll kick you out. Shen Yuefei raised her eyebrows. Okay, I'm not kidding you, Mr. President, since you don't want me to resign, how about you change my position for me? Su Hao took the initiative to propose. What position do you want to change to? How about the vice president of the company? Shen Yuefei said coldly. Okay, as long as you show me that you have the ability to be a vice president, it's totally fine. Su Hao was speechless for a while. At this moment, there was a knock on the door of the president's office. "Come in," Shen Yuefei said. Wang Meng hurried in and said, "Mr. Shen, it's not good. The customer service department has received a large number of complaint calls saying that our Kunyao Taoyao app is down." "What?" Shen Yuefei's expression changed. "Su Hao, please go back first, Xiaoming, follow me to the operations department." Shen Yuefei said something to Su Hao and left directly with Wang Meng. Su Hao was a little surprised. Kunyao Taoyao app was paralyzed. Hangshan Group has many businesses and Kunyao Taoyao is a mobile news app created by Shen Yuefei and it is also a company project that she values more. Kunyao Taoyao's performance has also been steadily improving in the past 2 years and Su Hao's program development department has been serving this app. The day is approaching the 618 shopping day and Kunyao Taoyao has a large number of advertisers placing ads, so if the app is paralyzed at this time, it will be really troublesome. No wonder Shen Yuefei, who had always been steady and calm, became panicked just now. When Su Hao returned to the department, his colleagues in the department gathered around him. "Ah Hao, are you okay?" "It's alright. Is everything okay? The president didn't punish you?" "No." Patty Dong and other colleagues were shocked. "Ah Hao, you are really our idol." Shai Dapping was speechless. "You are so handsome." Patty Dong gave a thumbs up. Su Hao glanced at the manager's office. Shai Dapping was not there and asked, "Where's the piece of shit?" "I went to the operations department. Did you know that something big happened? Kunyao Taoyao app crashed." Patty Dong said. Su Hao then picked up his mobile phone and clicked on the Kunyao Taoyao app. As expected, the homepage could not be opened. Not only that, other pages were also covered with a lot of spam, which was very violent. "Is this a virus?" Su Hao said speechlessly. "Well, it should be. It is said that the operations department has exploded and now everyone in the technical department is miserable." Patty Dong nodded. At this moment, Fatty Dong's landline suddenly rang. He answered it immediately and then looked depressed. "What's wrong?" Su Hao asked. "Hao, Shai Dapping asked us both to go to the operations department. Now the technical department says there is a problem with our programming and there are loopholes and the responsibility is passed on to us." Patty Dong said speechlessly. "Go to hell." Everyone in the program development department cursed angrily. "Let's go and take a look first." Su Hao said something and then he and Fatty Dong came to the operations department. At this time, the operations department was very busy and everyone was very busy. Shai Dapping and Yang Wenguang, the manager of the technical department, were arguing loudly. "Manager Shai, this must be a problem with your program. It must be a loophole in the program that caused the virus to invade." Yang Wenguang gritted his teeth and said. "I said Yang Wenguang, you are talking nonsense. What problems can there be with our program? Your technical department is responsible for network security and has not done a good job in network defense. Do you still blame us?" Shai Dapping snorted coldly. The top management of Hangshan Group, below the president is the company's vice president and below the vice president is the executive director. Executive directors are divided according to the company's business areas. For example, Su Hao's program development department and Yang Wenguang's technology department both belong to the Mobile Internet Business Group. The position of executive director of the Mobile Internet Business Group has been vacant since the previous director resigned. Shai Dapping and Yang Wenguang, as well as these middle managers from other departments, all want to be promoted to director. As a result, these middle managers often fight among themselves. Now that the app client is poisoned and paralyzed, of course no one of them wants to take the responsibility. Once you become the person responsible for the accident, you will undoubtedly miss the position of director. Snapped. Shen Yuefei suddenly slammed the table and the two people immediately fell silent. She was very angry when she saw Shai Dapping and Yang Wenguang arguing. Even in this situation, these two people were still trying to shirk responsibility. Chapter 11 Solving the Company Crisis. What time is it now? We are still discussing whose responsibility it is. Don't you know that the first responsibility now is to restore the normal operation of the app? Shen Yuefei shouted loudly. Shai Dapping and Yang Wenguang both had their eyelids twitching. Yang Wenguang, you said it's a program vulnerability, so let me ask you, what kind of vulnerability is it? Can it be patched? Shen Yuefei raised her eyebrows. This. Yang Wenguang hesitated and couldn't answer. He was just shirking responsibility. How could he know whether the program really had loopholes? Also, isn't it infected? What kind of virus is it? Is there any special antivirus software? Shen Yuefei asked again. This may be a new type of virus. Yang Wenguang almost broke into a cold sweat. The app has been down for half an hour and you two can't even figure out what the problem is. You still have the nerve to argue here. Why don't you hurry up and let your people investigate? Shen Yuefei said angrily. Yes, yes, yes. Shai Dapping then asked Su Hao and Fatty Dong to start investigating, while Yang Wenguang asked his technicians to investigate. 10 minutes later, Yang Wenguang's face became very ugly when he heard the report from his subordinates. How's it going? Shen Yuefei raised her eyebrows. Mr. Shen, it's a superworm. Now our entire server is infected and we're in big trouble. Yang Wenguang said with a wry smile. What? Shen Yuefei's beautiful eyes jumped. When she was the president, the board of directors of the group did not approve of her developing a news app. They believed that the prospects were not good and there were many domestic competitors. Shen Yuefei was able to achieve the current results of Kunyao Taotiao almost in the face of many obstacles, with domestic downloads exceeding 500 million and monthly active users reaching 80 million. This is already a good result. Now that the 618 event is approaching, major online merchant platforms will start product pre-sales tonight. At this critical moment, if the Kunyao Taotiao app crashes and becomes paralyzed, I am afraid it will attract a large number of complaints from advertisers and may even cause the advertisers to lose their trust. In this internet device, where software crashes frequently, which advertiser would still dare to place ads? Mr. Shen, not only that, many of our software have also been infected with viruses. We may have to restore the image files. In this case, we will lose some data. Yang Wenguang said again. Shai Dapping stood aside like a fool, unable to understand anything. Data must not be lost. What is the fastest solution now? Shen Yuefei said seriously. Kunyao Taotiao's data must not be lost, otherwise it may become the laughingstock of the industry. Not only that, if Kunyao Taotiao loses a large number of users and advertisers as a result, it means that the project has completely failed. Once the project fails, Shen Yuefei may also face losing some of her supporters among the group's shareholders. Mr. Shen, if you want to completely eliminate the virus, I'm afraid we can only ask professional engineers from 370 antivirus software company to come over. However, their fastest response time will probably be tonight. The app is expected to be restored as soon as tomorrow. Yang Wenguang had contacted 370 antivirus software company in advance, after all, they had cooperated many times before. Tomorrow are you all useless? No one can solve the crisis at hand. Shen Yuefei immediately got angry and violent. At this time, the whole room became quiet, no one dared to make a sound, they were all scared. No one had ever seen Shen Yuefei so angry. Aren't you two vying to be the director? Whichever of you solves the problem will be chosen by me as the director. Do you have the ability? Shen Yuefei said angrily. Shai Dapping and Yang Wenguang both lowered their heads and did not dare to say anything. Mr. Shen, if I can solve the problem, can I be the director? Suddenly a playful voice asked. Everyone followed the voice and saw that the speaker was Su Hao. When Shen Yuefei saw that it was Su Hao who said it, she was immediately furious. It had been so long and this guy was still making trouble. Su Hao? Who do you think you are? How long have you been bragging? Shai Dapping immediately said with a dark face. Who says I'm bragging? This virus is indeed highly replicable, but I can eliminate it all with a small program. Su Hao said confidently. He didn't lie. When Shen Yuefei was talking just now, he had already thoroughly checked the server side. Su Hao has already become a super expert in network security. What a joke. That's right. Isn't this kid too arrogant? So many of us can't solve it and he actually said that a small procedure can clear it up. You don't need to be like this if you want to be in the limelight, right? The employees in the technical department were all sarcastic. But Shen Yuefei frowned and asked, can you really get rid of the virus? Yes, the virus can be completely removed. I can guarantee that our Kunyao Taotiao app will return to normal in 10 minutes. Su Hao said seriously. What about the data? Shen Yuefei asked again. The data is all normal and will not be lost. Su Hao is still very confident. He is now a man with a super brain. Su Hao, who do you think you are? A network security expert. Shai Dapping hummed. Mr. Shen, do you dare to let me try? If I can't do it, I can pack up and leave. Su Hao said again. Mr. Shen, why don't you let him try? When Shai Dapping heard that Su Hao was going to pack up and leave, he suddenly became interested. Su Hao was speechless. Who is this Shai Dapping? Su Hao, I'll give you 10 minutes. Shen Yuefei gritted her teeth and made a decision. She didn't know if Su Hao could do it, but the current situation did not lack these 10 minutes. The next moment, Su Hao quickly wrote an application on the computer and then copied it all to the server. Then all servers immediately run the application he wrote to eliminate viruses. At this moment, the operations department was quiet and many employees began to refresh the Kunyao Taotiao app to see if it could be restored. Shy Dapping looked at Su Hao, who was busy, and smiled to himself, as if he had already seen Su Hao pack up and leave. Okay, done. Su Hao suddenly snapped his fingers. Done? What have you done? KeenAd app still crashed. Shy Dapping took his cell phone and immediately said sarcastically. Manager Shy, if you have some brains, can you quit the software and restart it? Su Hao shook his head speechlessly. Wow. Mr. Shen, KeenAd is back. Mr. Shen, our operation backend system has also been restored. Mr. Shen, all functional sections of our client have been restored. At this moment, the staff of the operations department and the technical department were all pleasantly surprised. Su Hao really did it. Shen Yuefei looked at her watch and saw that it only took 8 minutes. Chapter 12 promoted to executive director. At this time, the employees in the technical department saw that the app was restored and looked at Su Hao with admiration, as if he was a godlike figure. How can this be? Shy Dapping couldn't believe it. Subsequently, the technical department, operations department and program department conducted a comprehensive inspection. The data was normal and the operation was normal. Shen Yuefei finally breathed a sigh of relief after receiving this result. The crisis was finally resolved. Mr. Shen, now that the crisis is over and the problem is solved, shouldn't it be time for you to promote me? Su Hao grinned. Boy, what Mr. Shen said just now was angry. How could you take it seriously? Yang Wenguang said immediately. That's right, Su Hao, even if you kill the virus, do you think you can be a director? To be a director, you need not only technical experience, but also management experience. Shy Dapping also spoke out against it. Really? Manager Shy, you will definitely not be the director. Su Hao said sarcastically. Why can't I be a director? Shy Dapping hummed. You said it yourself, a director needs technical experience, but you don't have that. Su Hao couldn't help but complain. Why didn't I? Shy Dapping's face was gloomy. How could he not be angry when his subordinates talked back to him in front of so many people? Do you have technical experience? Then you can install a system and show it to everyone. Can you do it? Su Hao attacked him directly. Shy Dapping suddenly looked embarrassed. He really didn't know how to install the system, the most basic operation and maintenance technology. At this time, everyone in the room was gloating at Shy Dapping's joke. Su Hao, although you have eliminated the virus, do you understand network security? Yang Wenguang stood up and said. In the current situation, he and Shy Dapping were in the same camp and of course neither wanted Su Hao to really become their boss. I don't understand. The security system you deployed is simply vulnerable. Many firewall policies are not enabled, many functions of the intrusion detection system are not used, let alone the server, and many patches are not updated in time. If it were me, I would a complete defense and protection system will be established. Su Hao spoke directly and pointed out the loopholes in the current protection technology. This. Yang Wenguang was suddenly speechless. Can you really improve the protection system? Shen Yuefei asked. Of course, in addition to this, I think it is necessary to upgrade our software programming language. Many of the codes and formats we currently use are too old, which is not conducive to future software updates and function expansion. Su Hao also mentioned the problems in his program development. Okay, from now on, you will be promoted to the position of director of the mobile business group immediately. Shen Yuefei made a decision. During today's crisis, she realized the importance of high-end technical talents. Although she was not sure whether Su Hao could take on the heavy responsibility of the director position, she was willing to give it a chance. Because in Shen Yuefei's eyes, ability is the first factor, not the so-called sophistication in the workplace. And after she became president, she boldly used talents to echo her style. Wow. At this moment, the employees in the room were all amazed when they heard that Su Hao had really been promoted. According to the company's organizational structure, above ordinary employees are supervisors, above supervisors are department managers, and above department managers are business directors. Su Hao was promoted from ordinary employee to director all of a sudden. This was a 3-level promotion in a row. This is a complete workplace miracle. Mr. Shen, how can the position of director be so casual? What qualifications does he have? I object. Shy Dapping suddenly became anxious. What right do you have to object to my employment? I declare that from now on, you will be fired from the company. Shen Yuefei looked serious and said domineeringly. Shy Dapping was stunned. What's the situation? Have you been fired? No, it must be a hallucination, it's impossible. He is a person with strong connections. A certain shareholder of the company is his relative. Yes, the president must be angry because of his words. Of course, words made out of anger do not count. Mr. Shen, are you joking with me? I was speechless just now. Of course I have no right to object to your appointment. Shai Dapping said quickly. No, I'm not kidding you. You can go to the personnel department to go through the formalities in a moment. This Mr. Shen, why do you fire me just because you said you should fire me? Shai Dapping suddenly became anxious. Don't worry, the company will give you the compensation it deserves. Shen Yuefei said it very directly, she had already made up her mind. Shai Dapping is related to the company's shareholders, but she doesn't care anymore. And she felt that she had been too soft before. Even if she offended shareholders, she had to clean out such bugs, otherwise she would only destroy the company. Mr. Shen, I was wrong. I am an old employee of the company. I have made great contributions to our company. You will chill the old employees of the company. Shai Dapping apologized quickly. As a department manager, his monthly salary is 50,000 yuan, plus a bonus of more than 60,000 yuan. After a year of fishing in troubled waters in the company, he doesn't want any compensation, no matter how much he earns. The great contribution. Tell me what contribution you made. Shai Dapping, don't you know how much you weigh? Shen Yuefei said angrily. Mr. Shen, what you said is too much. Director Zheng is my cousin. I will explain it to your cousin in person, but if I fire you today, this decision will not change. Shen Yuefei spoke forcefully. Okay. Mr. Shen, if you don't give my cousin face, you will never let my cousin support you on the board of directors in the future. Shai Dapping gritted his teeth and said something, then left with a dark face. Xiaoming, go talk to the Human Resources Department and announce today's personnel appointments and dismissals on the company's office system. From now on, Su Hao will be the executive director of the mobile business group. Shen Yuefei said to Wang Meng. Wang Meng nodded and said, yes Mr. Shen. Mr. Su, I leave the rest to you. Make sure the app runs normally. Shen Yuefei warned Su Hao. Good. Su Hao nodded. Then Shen Yuefei and Wang Meng left. Wow, Director Su, congratulations. Operations Department Manager Tong Siyu stepped forward to congratulate him first. Director Su, a technical master like you deserves the position of director. Yes, Director Su is the idol of our technical staff. Director Su will guide us more in the future. All of a sudden, all these employees gathered around and congratulated him warmly. Su Hao suddenly felt the enthusiasm of these people and felt a little carried away. At this time, the manager of the technical department, Yang Wenguang, stepped forward and said with a smile. Director Su is really young and promising. I, Lao Yang, admire him very much. From now on, I, Lao Yang, will be Director Su's most loyal subordinate. Chapter 13 Having a personal secretary. At this time, everyone in the room looked at Yang Wenguang in surprise. This guy really explained what it means to be a follower of others, what it means to be a professional in the workplace, and what it means to be a lapdog. Yang Wenguang, who just opposed Su Hao's promotion in front of the CEO, now claims to be Su Hao's most loyal subordinate. This is really a huge irony. Su Hao was also shocked. Could this be a workplace crisis? No more old face. You're right. In the workplace, there are too many old fritters like Yang Wenguang who are flattering and follow the crowd. Although Yang Wenguang knows some skills, Su Hao will kick out such people sooner or later. Manager Yang, although the virus has been temporarily eliminated, our technical department cannot relax. In the afternoon, you will start to strengthen the defense system according to my technical requirements. Su Hao said immediately. Okay, Director Su, I understand. Yang Wenguang nodded quickly. In the afternoon, Su Hao conducted a complete inspection of the server and network layers, reinforced the network layers' defenses, and launched a comprehensive defense on the server side. When Su Hao was debugging, of course he would also bring engineers from the technical department to explain. Only then did these engineers suddenly realize that their Director Su was really hiding everything. After he perfected the defense system, he returned to the program development department. Wow, Hao, you're back. Colleagues from the program development department were surprised to see Su Hao come back and gathered around to express their congratulations. Su Hao chatted with them for a while. Hey, fatty, where are my things? Only then did Su Hao realize that the office supplies at his workstation were empty. Haha, you are the executive director now, but as someone who owns an office, all your office items have been moved to your office by your secretary. Fatty Dong explained. My secretary? Su Hao was stunned. You don't know yet. Take a look at the latest documents released by our office system. Fatty Dong brought him to the computer and opened the company's office system. At the top was a job appointment and dismissal notice that had just been released in the afternoon. Su Hao clicked on it and saw that the document did not mention the app crash incident in the morning. It only mentioned that he had outstanding performance and was directly promoted to the executive director of the mobile internet business group with a personal secretary. At the same time, it was later announced that Shai Dapping would be fired from his position as manager of the program development department. Haha, my chief director, you now have a personal secretary and she is also a young and beautiful girl. Fatty Dong was envious. Even if there are secretaries, the human resources department still needs to recruit people. How can it be so fast? Su Hao was a little surprised. The human resources department has a reserve of personnel, okay. Fatty Dong explained. That's right, okay, I'll go check out the new office. Su Hao became interested. But he remembered one more thing and then he brought Fatty Dong over. Fat man, I have decided to recommend you to be the manager of the program development department in front of the president. Do you have any objections? Su Hao asked with a smile. Fatty Dong was pleasantly surprised. What office worker wouldn't like to be promoted, but he didn't expect that Su Hao would recommend him. Brother Hao, Fatty Dong didn't know what to say. Okay, no need to say thank you. The next thing to do is to treat me to dinner. Su Hao patted Fatty Dong on the shoulder and left. He recommended Fatty Dong to be the department manager. In addition to his good relationship with Fatty Dong, more importantly, Fatty Dong's programming skills were really good. The office of the executive director of the Mobile Internet Business Group is located in the golden corner at the innermost corner of the third floor. However, it was vacant before and Su Hao had never entered it. In front of the office, there is a secretary's desk, but there is no one at the desk at the moment. Su Hao pushed the door open and walked into the office and saw a girl carrying him on her back, bending over and wiping the bookcase with a rag in her hand. Ahem. He coughed dryly. When the girl heard this, she stood up quickly and turned around. She was wearing a white shirt, a black skirt and a blue silk scarf on her collar. Her delicate oval face looked stunning. Director Su, you are back. The girl was a little nervous. Well, you know me? Su Hao asked with a smile. Well, I saw your resume, Mr. Su, in the Human Resources Department. By the way, my name is Kui Xiaowen and I will be your personal secretary from now on. Kui Xiaowen stood up straight and introduced herself. Well, Xiaowen, how old are you this year? Su Hao walked to the table and sat down. Mr. Su, I am 23 years old and just graduated last year. 23 years old. I'm 2 years older than you. You don't have to be so reserved in front of me in the future. Su Hao took the initiative and smiled. Kui Xiaowen breathed a sigh of relief and felt a little happy. She didn't expect that her boss was a young and handsome guy and he was so approachable, unlike the big leaders of the company who all had a straight face. The two chatted in the office and gradually became familiar with each other. Kui Xiaowen has a carefree and straightforward personality which suits Su Hao very well. Mr. Su, I am so lucky to have a leader like you. Kui Xiaowen smiled happily. Xiaowan, don't be too happy too early. I have strict requirements on work. You must work seriously in the future, otherwise I may punish you, very seriously. Su Hao couldn't help teasing her. Ah. A very serious punishment. Mr. Su, what kind of punishment is it? Kui Xiaowen asked curiously. Spank. Are you afraid of it? Su Hao joked. Ah. Kui Xiaowen blushed and said generously. I'm not afraid. If I make a mistake at work, just hit me, Mr. Su. Haha, Xiaowen, your straightforward personality is great. Have you got a boyfriend? Su Hao asked curiously. No, I have been single for 23 years since I was born. It's so pitiful. Kui Xiaowen said depressedly. No way. You are so beautiful, are all the male classmates around you blind? Mr. Su, you are teasing me again. Maybe I have a carefree personality and those male classmates treat me as a buddy. Kui Xiaowen chuckled. Then what do you like? I like young and promising career-oriented men like Mr. Su. Oh, what a pity. Su Hao looked regretful. Mr. Su, why is it such a pity? Kui Xiaowen was stunned. I am already a married man, otherwise you would still have a chance. Su Hao grinned. Ah. Mr. Su, you must be teasing me. Kui Xiaowen looked resentful and didn't believe what Su Hao said at all. Jingle bell. At this moment, the landline phone at the secretary's desk outside the office rang. Yeah, there's a call. Kui Xiaowen quickly ran out to answer the phone. After a while, she came back and said, Mr. Su, Mr. Shen asked you to go to her office at 5 o'clock. Chapter 14 Shen Yuefei's dictatorship. Su Hao checked the time, it was already 4 p.m. Well, there's still 1 hour left, that's enough, Xiaowen, I'll make a plan first. After he finished speaking, he turned on the computer. Okay, Mr. Su. Kui Xiaowen nodded and walked out. At 5 o'clock, Su Hao prepared an overall disaster recovery plan for the system and went directly to Shen Yuefei with the plan. This time, Wang Meng, secretary to the president, saw Su Hao coming and quickly stood up respectfully. Hello Director Su. Wang Meng took the initiative to say hello. This is the difference after promotion. Every employee's attitude towards himself has changed. Well, is Mr. Shen here? Well, Mr. Shen said, you can go in directly when you come. Good. Wang Meng took the initiative to open the door for him and Su Hao walked in. Shen Yuefei was not sitting at the desk but holding a bottle of red wine in her hand, standing on tiptoes in front of the wine cabinet, trying to put the wine into the top shelf. But the top grid was a bit high and out of reach for her. Hey, honey, I've been promoted, do you want to celebrate with some champagne? Su Hao stepped forward and joked, now in front of the ice beauty, this guy has become bold and unrestrained. He figured it out, why should he be polite to this woman? This woman even deceived him into signing a 200 million selling contract. You're dreaming, help me, I can't reach it. Shen Yuefei glared at him and shook the red wine in her hand. Su Hao nodded, walked forward, bent down and picked up Shen Yuefei's legs, and then lifted her up. Ah. Su Hao, what are you doing? Let me go. Shen Yuefei's pretty face changed, this bastard dared to hug her leg. If you don't tell me you can't reach it, let me help you. Su Hao deliberately pretended to be confused and put her down. Yes, he did it on purpose. I solved the internet crisis for Ice Beauty today, why don't I charge some interest? This girl's legs, TSK, are really good. I ask you to help me put it up, not to ask you to lift me up. Shen Yuefei's neck turned red with embarrassment and she directly handed the red wine in her hand to Su Hao. Ever since I was a child, no man has hugged my legs. This bastard must have done it on purpose. Su Hao took the wine and took a look, oh, Emperor Kang, the emperor among red wines, even though it is a vintage, it still costs tens of thousands of dollars. He took another look at the other wines in the wine cabinet, which were all famous wines such as Petrus, Lipping, and Cheval Blanc. Okay, the wine in Bing Myron's wine cabinet adds up to a lot of money. I said, honey, I got a promotion and a salary increase, so I can't have a drink. Su Hao was holding the wine and was a little ready to make a move. This is a company, what are you drinking? Also, pay attention to your title. Shen Yuefei said with a cold face. You can't drink. Why are you putting out so much wine? Who are you showing it to? Su Hao was speechless for a while. These were all given to me by others. After Shen Yuefei finished speaking, she walked to her desk and sat down. She was still worried about the leg-hugging incident just now. As expected of a high-class person, the gift of wine costs tens of thousands of yuan. President Shen, what do you want from me? Su Hao put down the wine, walked to the table and sat down directly. Shen Yuefei frowned. This shameless guy was really rude. No one had ever been so rude in his office. I'll get off work soon and walk half an hour late. Wait for me in the parking lot. Huh? What to do? Work overtime? I don't want to work overtime. Su Hao shook his head. He hated working overtime the most now. You have no right to choose. I am your boss. Okay, you can go back. Shen Yuefei completely ignored Su Hao's opinion. Su Hao had a dark look on his face. Damn, she was really Wu Zixin. She was a dictator and had no human rights. Here's this for you. I happen to have something to do with you. He put the plan he had prepared in front of Shen Yuefei. What's this? Shen Yuefei picked it up and looked at it. This is a security plan I made. It is based on our current hardware, adding some network equipment and servers, and also establishing a virtual platform to achieve a disaster recovery plan for system multi-activity. Su Hao roughly explained. Although Shen Yuefei is not proficient in technology, she still understands what Su Hao's plan does. She supported such a disaster recovery plan, but she didn't expect Su Hao to be so capable. Not to mention the technical content of this plan, just the layout of the plan was better than many others. It can be seen that this plan is very careful and the equipment inside is also targeted at Hongxing Group's Kunyao Taotiao app. Is this your plan? Honey, you doubt me. Shut up, this plan will cost a lot of money, right? Shen Yuefei asked the key question. It's not too much, almost 5 million. I have my cost budget behind it. Su Hao grinned, of course he would use good hardware equipment. 5 million that much? Shen Yuefei was stunned. Mr. Shen, 5 million is still a lot for a big CEO. Su Hao couldn't laugh or cry. It's true that I'm the president, but I can't spend money recklessly. You hit the point. The plan is very clear. This is not a waste of money. I can approve this money, but I have to look at the plan first. Shen Yuefei takes her work very seriously. No problem. By the way, Shai Dapping has been fired. I propose that Dong Likai, Dong Fatty, take over as department manager. Su Hao said proactively. Huh? Su Hao, I didn't notice that you started to win over your own people so quickly. Shen Yuefei's beautiful eyes flashed, as if she had read through the other person's thoughts. I don't have so many random ideas. Fatty Dong is an old programmer with excellent skills and a kind person. We programmers are all honest people. He is very suitable to be a department manager. Su Hao explained. Are you programmers honest? Why didn't I notice that you are quite naughty? And you don't have any shame. The corners of Shen Yuefei's mouth rose. Honey, what you said is not kind. If I were cunning, could I be deceived into signing a deed of betrayal by you? Su Hao said sarcastically. You understand, I didn't deceive you. You obviously couldn't resist the temptation of 1 million and signed. Shen Yuefei glared. That 1 million is not written in the contract. Who knows if you will lie to me? Who am I, Shen Yuefei, that I can lie to you? It's a joke. Shen Yuefei didn't know whether to laugh or cry. She was famous for making promises in shopping malls. President, please don't paint a big picture for me. You should first give up the sugar-coated bullets in front of you. Can Fatty Dong's department manager position be solved? Besides, when I take office as a new official, I must have my own capable people. Su Hao stood up and sat down directly on the CEO's desk, looking like he was cheating. Get off here. Shen Yuefei is usually a bit of a germaphobe, but this guy actually soiled her desk. Chapter 15 I am an experienced driver. Honey, give me some face. Su Hao stepped forward with a playful smile. Okay, isn't he just a department manager? You let Dong Likai act as an agent for a month and then I will make him a regular employee. Shen Yuefei really couldn't stand this shameless guy. Moreover, it is normal for an executive director to recommend the promotion of his subordinates. Okay. Su Hao then got down from the desk. You still have something to do, go out if you have nothing to do. Shen Yuefei was a little impatient. I still have important things to ask. Su Hao suddenly smiled playfully. What's up? Shen Yuefei looked at him curiously. It must not be a good thing for this guy to smile like this. How much is my monthly salary as an executive director? Is it 100,000 yuan? Su Hao couldn't wait to ask. You are really a money addict. Ask the finance department about your salary. Shen Yuefei said speechlessly. Honey, why are you so stingy? Please tell me first. Su Hao shamelessly continued to ask. Are you serious? Get out of here. Shen Yuefei was angry. This guy always called her wife shamelessly. It was too much. Hey, once you remind me, I really have something important to do. Su Hao really remembered something. If you have something to say it, and if you have something to say, let it go. Shen Yuefei blurted out angrily, but regretted it as soon as she said it. She has never had a hard blow before, so she must be pissed off by this scoundrel. It must not be your fault, yes, it must be like this. Su Hao said speechlessly. You haven't offended anyone recently, right? What's the meaning? Shen Yuefei frowned. According to my investigation today, it is not an accident that our app suffered a virus invasion today. Su Hao said seriously. You mean, someone inside the company did it? Shen Yuefei's heart skipped a beat. That's not true. It was done by hackers and it was very targeted. Su Hao is already very proficient in the knowledge of network hackers. What? Hackers did it? Shen Yuefei was shocked. In the competition between China's large companies, there are indeed many means of business competition. But it would be very despicable to use hackers to intrude and paralyze a competitor's server system. Shen Yuefei frowned and thought about it. Hongxing Group had many competitors and she didn't know who would use such despicable means. I have strengthened the defense system, but I believe that hackers will carry out another attack. Su Hao had already analyzed hackers' attack methods. Will it still attack? So our app is still at risk of being paralyzed? Shen Yuefei asked worriedly. That's not the case. As long as I'm here, they can't succeed. Do you want to catch them? I can set up a network trap and then conduct counter-intrusion to lock their location. Su Hao suggested that he was very interested in the red-blue confrontation between hackers on the internet. Do you have a way to catch them? Shen Yuefei's beautiful eyes rounded up, filled with surprise. Of course, but what's the benefit if I help you catch them? Su Hao grinned. Su, you are an employee of Hongxing Group. I am the president of Hongxing Group. I order you to catch these hackers. Shen Yuefei said with a straight face. Oh, Mr. President, it's no good. It's hard for me to do things. Su Hao shrugged and then shook his head. What benefit do you want? Shen Yuefei was completely speechless at this shameless guy. I want. Su Hao squinted and looked up and down at Shen Yuefei. Let me kiss you. The guy said boldly. What? Shen Yuefei's pretty face turned red instantly, not from shyness, but from anger. Su, get out of here. She slammed the table angrily. Wang Mang, the president's secretary who was outside the door at the moment, heard the sound of banging on the table and her heart skipped a beat. What happened? Who is this Su Hao? He can make the CEO so angry. He is definitely dead. Ahem, Ice Beauty, why are you still angry? Su Hao said shamelessly. Okay, Su Hao, you dare to have evil thoughts towards me? You are so brave. Shen Yuefei's tone was cold. What are you thinking about? You're registered legally, but you can't even kiss me. Su Hao snorted coldly. Legal? You bastard, please figure it out, we are having a fake marriage. Shen Yuefei was speechless. The reason why she chose Su Hao was because she thought he was an ordinary employee and easy to control. She didn't expect that he turned out to be a shameless rogue. You also know that it's a fake marriage. You tricked me into signing a contract of sale, and I don't have any benefits now. Su Hao was not convinced either. Cut the nonsense, what benefits do you want? Shen Yuefei didn't want to get entangled anymore, so she could only compromise. Well, give me another 20,000 yuan per month salary. Su Hao said quietly. Hey, you are really a money addict, you are obsessed with money. Shen Yuefei's teeth itched with anger. You are a great CEO, can you stop being so stingy? Su Hao had a dark look on his face, this CEO is really not generous. The group has regulations on the salary standards for each employee. If I raise your salary alone, what should I do if others come to me? Shen Yuefei said angrily. Su Hao thought about it and realized that what this Ice Beauty said was reasonable. How about this? If I help you catch a hacker, you can lend me a car to drive. I'm also the executive director. I can't take the subway to work every day. That would be embarrassing. Su Hao thought of Ice Beauty's Lamborghini and became excited. What man doesn't love sports cars? Car? Do you have a driver's license? Shen Yuefei looked sarcastic. Don't look down on people. Just because I don't have a car doesn't mean I don't have a driver's license. I'm an experienced driver. Su Hao boasted. Okay, I can agree to your request. Shen Yuefei nodded. She had several cars, but she couldn't drive them here anyway. It's a deal, wife, I'll leave first. Su Hao waved his hand, turned around and left, but suddenly stopped when he reached the wine cabinet. Clang. Shen Yuefei suddenly heard the sound of the office cabinet door opening and closing. Su Hao, what are you doing? Hey, wife, get 2 bottles of wine. What? Shen Yuefei hurriedly came over, but Su Hao had already walked out of the office. Looking at the wine cabinet, there were already 2 bottles of red wine missing. This scoundrel actually took away 2 bottles of red wine from me. Shen Yuefei felt a little nervous. She chose this guy to get married. She didn't know if it was a blessing or a curse. The president's secretary Wang Meng was a little confused when she saw Su Hao coming out with 2 bottles of red wine. Just now, Su Hao clearly made Mr. Shen slam the table. Why did Mr. Shen give him 2 bottles of red wine? Shen Yuefei in the office shook her head helplessly, then took out her mobile phone and dialed a number. Hey, Aunt, I'm going home for dinner tonight. Chapter 16. Are you looking for a partner? When Su Hao returned to the office, it was already time to get off work. However, Kui Xiaowen was still sitting at the table and did not leave. Xiaowen, you're not off work yet. Ah. Mr. Su, you're back. I'm afraid you'll have something to do soon. Besides, our company stipulates that if the company's executive secretary doesn't get off work, the secretary can't get off work either if the boss doesn't get off work. Kui Xiaowen stood up. Why break the rules? From now on, you will get off work at off-duty time. If there is anything that needs you to stay, I will take the initiative to tell you in advance. Su Hao said with a smile. Ah. Mr. Su, you are so kind. Mr. Su, can I add you on WeChat? It will be convenient for you to contact me if you have anything in the future. Of course. Then the 2 of them added WeChat friends, and Kui Xiaowen got off work. When Su Hao returned to the office, he remembered that Julong.com's 30,000 commission had arrived this morning, and he had enough money to pay the rent. He found the landlord Aunt Shu's WeChat account and transferred the rent directly. Aunt Shu soon collected the money. Aunt Shu. Xiao Su, you are rich so quickly, have you paid your salary? Su Hao. No, I made some extra money. Aunt Shu. Why does extra money come in so quickly? Tell Aunt is very interested. Su Hao. Aunt Shu, this is what men are good at, you may not be able to do it. Aunt Shu. Young people, you have to be moderate. Your health is more important. Don't do such stupid things in the future. Su Hao was stunned when he saw Aunt Shu's reply. What's this nonsense? Did this charter woman misunderstand something? Shen Yuefei asked Su Hao to go to the parking lot at 6 o'clock. She didn't know what she wanted to do overtime. He checked the time and there were still 20 minutes left, so he sat in front of the computer and opened Julong.com. Unexpectedly, as soon as I logged in, I received many post-message reminders. It turned out that many people had followed the post about me accepting the task, and I became the subject of discussion among many members. Su Hao accepted the task from the sponsor King Kingsley last night and it took him 2 hours to deliver the results. This single task actually received reports and complaints from many members who believed that this was an act of cheating. Yulong.com officially verified and refuted the rumors. This task is true and effective. This shocked many industry members. Su Hao smiled and found that his membership level was already 2 lira. He did not reply to these people's posts and prepared to continue learning high-end hacking techniques. He discovered that advanced intelligence is not only strong in learning ability but also very strong in inspirational thinking. For example, looking at a case of hacker attack and defense, his brain can derive tens of thousands of different attack and defense cases. Su Hao believes that this kind of inspired thinking is the real power. It is equivalent to gaining tens of thousands of actual combat experiences. For example, if you are a newly practicing lawyer, you may only be proficient in one type of case, but your brain has derived tens of thousands of different types of cases, which will become your professional experience. For example, you are a novice gamer. You have only played one game of LoL, but you have tens of thousands of actual game experiences. Is this awesome? Is it scary? Friend request. Su Hao discovered that Julong.com received a friend addition message and the person who added it turned out to be last night's sponsor King Kingsley. Is there something wrong with the task results I delivered yesterday? He directly agreed. Unexpectedly, just as he agreed, King Kingsley sent a message. King Kingsley. Hello Dionysus, the program you delivered is perfect. I have a friend who also wants to do a small program, but she is doing a small program for catering, which is more complicated than my shopping program. Can you accept it? Gold medal old wine LV2. No problem, but the price is a bit more expensive. King Kingsley. Understood. My friend quoted 80,000 yuan. I asked her to post the task requirements for you to take a look at. If there is no problem, can you take the task again? Gold medal old wine LV2. Yes. Then King Kingsley sent a task link. After Su Hao clicked on it, her friend named Lan Xin posted a task for the catering applet. The tasks of this small program include 2 parts. Dining in the lobby and takeout, so the program is relatively complicated. Su Hao is quite familiar with the industry. If you look for a professional company to customize and develop a small program like this, it will cost you at least hundreds of thousands. The task commissions on Julong.com are relatively cheap, 80,000 commissions are not bad, and for Su Hao, it is very easy for him to make such a small program. Julong.com earns commissions very quickly. Su Hao directly accepted the task, then added blue heart and communicated the requirements. Lan Xin. Bacchus, I heard from Kingsley that you are very powerful and your small programs are very good, so I'm begging you. Gold medal old wine LV2. How many days will it take for you to get results? Lan Xin. I'm not in a hurry. Can it be done in 2 months? Gold medal old wine LV2. Do you look down on me? I'll send you the results in 2 days. Lan Xin. Okay, can Bacchus add your WeChat account? Facilitate communication. Then Su Hao directly sent the WeChat ID and soon he received the friend addition. After Su Hao agreed, Lan Xin opened a chat group and brought King Kingsley in. King Kingsley. Bacchus, can you complete the ordering process in 2 days? Do you have a team? Gold medal old wine. No, I'm alone. Blue heart. Bacchus, just tease us. Gold medal old wine. Doghead. King Kingsley. Bacchus, how old are you? Gold medal old wine. What? After asking so much, are you looking for a partner? Lan Xin. Haha, our King Kingsley is still single. King Kingsley. Lan Xin, don't mess around. I'm just asking the Dionysus, don't mind. Bang dang. When Su Hao was chatting with 2 female netizens, Shen Yuefei suddenly sent a video invitation. Su Hao checked the time on his phone, it was already 6:10. Damn it, I was so busy chatting with my female netizens that I forgot to go to the parking lot. Su Hao quickly clicked to answer. Su, do you have any sense of time? Ahem, I'll get down right now. Su Hao hung up the video, quickly packed his things, and went downstairs with his backpack. After a while, he arrived at the parking lot and found that Shen Yuefei's parking space was empty and her sports car was not there. Could it be that this aunt was unhappy and drove away by herself? Beep beep. Suddenly a whistle sounded from another part of the parking lot. Su Hao walked over curiously and saw a sapphire blue Bentley Mulsanne. At this time, the car window opened, revealing Shen Yuefei's pretty face. Why are you lingering? Why don't you get in the car quickly? Shen Yuefei glared at him. Hey, how many cars do you have? You have another Bentley. Su Hao was speechless for a while. He really didn't understand the world of rich people. What is the ice beauty doing sitting in the passenger seat? Should you let yourself drive? Chapter 17 A man's mouth is deceptive. Su Hao asked. Honey, why are you sitting in the passenger seat? Didn't you say you have a driver's license? Come and drive. Shen Yuefei said directly that as for what Su Hao called his wife, she didn't bother to care. After all, anger is harmful to the body. If you are angry with this scoundrel, you will be angry to death sooner or later. Okay. Su Hao was a little excited. This was a Bentley. It was his first time to drive such a good car. His palms were itchy. He got into the car and fastened his seatbelt first. Honey, where are we going? Why on earth do you want me to work overtime? Su Hao asked curiously. Take you to meet your parents. Shen Yuefei said something. Meeting the parents. Su Hao was a little surprised, then smiled. He suddenly understood. So you faked the marriage with me to fool your family. Did your family force you to go on a blind date? Shen Yuefei was speechless for a while. Is this guy an idiot? Who is she? Need a blind date. What an international joke. Don't look like that. I know your conditions. You don't need a blind date at all. But in order to fool your parents, you don't have to get a certificate. Just get a fake certificate. Su Hao joked. Go to the mall to buy clothes first and change your clothes first. Shen Yuefei didn't explain much. She took a look at Su Hao. This guy had a plaid shirt on his upper body, jeans on his lower body, and a backpack. He looked like a typical programmer. You want to change your outfit? What's wrong with my clothes? They're pure cotton. Su Hao said indifferently. Stop talking nonsense, Jing Maomol. Shen Yuefei said coldly. Fine. Su Hao started the car. However, the Bentley had just driven out of the parking lot and when Su Hao turned on the turn signal, the car's wipers actually moved. Can you drive? Shen Yuefei's beautiful eyes jumped and she quickly fastened her seatbelt. Look what you're afraid of, I'm just not familiar with luxury cars. Su Hao boasted.